आप देख रहे हैं जनमत, आपका चैनल, आपका मत।
शो के सह प्रायोजक MDH चना मसाला, चने का असली स्वाद MDH चना मसाला।
Welcome to Head Honcho. I'm Anish Trivedi. I am with a man today with whom I am more familiar on the rugby pitch than indoors within four walls. Diwan, Rahul, Nanda, Chairman and Managing Director of Tops Group, is my guest today on Head Honcho.
Oh, biggest dude you know will fly. Go.
Gilia Guinea.
Your fingers.
Rahul, my friend.
Hi Anish, how are you?
Listen, we have to stop with the sporting motive, you know. Rugby, pool,
Martial arts?
martial arts.
Yeah, all the time.
I could kick your butt, you know that.
Sure.
I could.
Let's capture it on camera. Come on, do it. Anish,
Listen, let's start at the beginning. You start your career as a restaurateur,
yeah, 30 cooks.
and then you move into the security business.
Yeah.
What brought on that change?
You know, when I had the restaurants, 30 cooks, I was limited by space, which is that, you know, if I had 100 seats, I couldn't do more than that. And you know me, how aggressive I am and how I'm a big extrovert and stuff, you know. So I couldn't sit there waiting for customers to come to me. And when they come there, I say, oh, I don't have a table and space for you. And I realized that if you want to make more restaurants, you have to have capital. And besides, I was not interested in the business. So I said I should do something I'm interested in. And then security industry was not there in India. It was more of chowkidari, salam shahab, darwaza kholna sahab and all that. And then I realized the potential. After studying in America, and realized the potential. Okay, this is what the security industry can be. And that's how I took on Tops.
Now, when you started the business, as you said, the industry didn't exist. The market's changed since then. So it's not just the fact that you started at the right time, but also the market dynamics changed. More people were concerned about security, not just the chowkidar at the gate. Has that helped the way the economy has changed things over here, the way more people are looking for the kind of services that you have?
Of course. In earlier days, you know, people, you know, a factory landlord, you know, factory guy, you know, he used to make his full factory bana liya, plant bana liya, then he calls his personal manager, oh Anish, wo security ka kya karna hai? Saab, wo Tops is good. Pagal hai kya rate hai unka? Saab itna, arey wo Singh security ko leke aao, saste mein milti hai. You know, after the plant was made and the factory was made, the facility was constructed, after everything was done, then they said, oh, gate sambhalne ke liye, get a security guy. Today, what has happened is that before the even place is purchased, we are consulted. They ask us, is this a good place for us? What's the risk study for the place? In case we make the facility like in this way, what do we do with the server, information protection, or security area? You know, so things have changed. Dynamics have changed totally.
No, that's just it. It's not just personal security. It's not just the guy at the gate. It's not just locking up after the employees have gone home. It's the technology that goes within the four walls. It's information technology that needs and intellectual property that now needs to be protected, not just physical property, right?
Sure.
How much has Tops invested on that side of the business?
You know, in Tops, we've got around 7 companies and 6 divisions. Tops Group, together, the conglomerate is turning around more than 200 crores in revenues this year. We should be doing around 340 crores next year. All our companies put together, we had a total security solution. So whether it's intellectual property, we have a division for that, which does investigations. We've got a national company into security systems. We've got a guarding company. We've into emergency response service, like, you know, Tops Line, 1252. Now we started a new service called Tops Air Rescue, in which we rescue people by air evacuation, air ambulances. So Tops gives you a total package. It's just not a guard, a chowkidar. So starting from a guard to high-tech security systems, to high-tech risk mitigation, to consultancy, you name it, intellectual property protection, we do everything.
Rahul, one of the things that we've noticed in Europe, in the US, is this need for security from day one all the way through. Are Indian companies catching on to that now? Are they
absolutely, absolutely. You know, today in India, maybe we've got a list of what, 500 multinational companies, 1,000 multinational companies.
How many Indian companies?
How many Indian companies what?
How many Indian companies do you have as your client?
We work with over 5,000 customers, out of which we work with over 1,000 multinationals. So if you can name the top 100 brands that come in your mind, we work with them. And these guys are so used to working with international security firms there that they expect the same amount of involvement, the same amount of technology that we have over here.
And the expertise.
Of course, the expertise. Yeah. And ISO certification, which is a very big thing once upon a time, is just it's just mandatory now. So I think we're one of the only security companies who are ISO 9001, 2000 standard certified, and now we are following the Six Sigma route. We're also in the balanced scorecard. So TOPS keeps pace with the growing trends in the international security industry.
So tell me, where do you get the time to do all this? I mean, we're standing in front of a pool table over here. We've got the gym in the background over there, pretty state-of-the-art over there. Do you ever get the time to use it?
I use it every day, man.
Is that part of the regimen for you? The
Absolutely,
fitness?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless you're not fit, physically, you can't be fit mentally. If you ever come to my office, you'll always see, I'm always, into sports. I'm always into, I've got security around me. We always do health, health in our company, because I believe that if I have to secure you, I need to be fit first myself. If you're not fit yourself first, you can't secure. I can't secure. You wouldn't want to talk to a MD who's fat and thin. Hello, you won't let him do that. You want to talk to a guy who looks good and stuff, and he feels good. He feels good like that.
We're going to come back and talk about that. We'll take a short break right now, but when we come back, more from Diwan, Rahul, Nanda right after this.
Punch me here.
That's an invitation. Yeah?
Punch me here. Try punching.
कॉन शो के सह प्रायोजक MDH चना मसाला, चने का असली स्वाद MDH चना मसाला।
चिकन हो या गरम मसाला, पाव भजिया चलती चाट मसाला, असली मसाले सच सच MDH।
सुपर निर्मा से सारे दाग चले जाएंगे और मम्मी को पता भी नहीं चलेगा। सब दाग चले गए। सुपर निर्मा मैं सप्तमैन।
सचिन मम्मी सुपर निर्मा में है सचमुच अपनापन।
इतनी स्पेशल है वो तो इंतजार क्यों? संगनी डायमंड ज्वेलरी जो जीवन भर साथ निभाए, और अपना संगनी सर्टिफिकेट जरूर लीजिए। संगनी डायमंड ज्वेलरी।
शादी पॉइंट, इतने रिश्ते कि फैसला आपके हाथ में हो। अपने शहर में बैठे बैठे देश के किसी भी कोने से रिश्ता ढूंढिए। आज ही अपने नजदीकी सेंटर पे जाएं या हमें टोल फ्री नंबर 1-800-222277 पर फोन करें।
निक्कू और सुषमा का प्यार, 2 साल की मोहब्बत, फिर हैवान क्यों बना निक्कू? क्या हुआ सुषमा को? देखिए रजिस्टर नंबर 4 शुक्रवार रात 10 बजे सिर्फ जनमत पर।
रजिस्टर नंबर 4 के सह प्रायोजक MDH देगी मिर्च। MDH देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का। MDH की देगी मिर्च। कॉन शो के सह प्रायोजक MDH चना मसाला, चने का असली स्वाद MDH चना मसाला।
Welcome back to Head Honcho. I'm Anish Trivedi, and if you've just joined us, I'm with a man who needs to be taught a lesson. Diwan, Rahul, Nanda.
Dr. Diwan Rahul, sir.
Dr. Rahul, Diwan.
Doctor.
Doctor. We're going to come back and talk about the doctoring part in a minute. Chairman and Managing Director of the TOPS Group is my guest today. We've been talking about security systems in India. We've been talking about what it takes to bring in that security into your home.
We've been talking how he broke his thumb in rugby. That's interesting, man.
Now, listen, I want to talk to you about this. You spend 4 years learning martial arts. You get a doctorate in martial arts. You write a 2,000-page thesis to get your doctorate.
800 pages, yeah.
And you still have to sit on me to break my thumb playing rugby. Didn't you learn anything?
I didn't sit on you, okay? Come on. This guy comes for a tackle. He comes, oh shit, oh, I broke my thumb, man.
You know, this is the problem with Rahul. He figures if he just sits on someone, that's all it takes. So,
well, that's martial arts. Use your body weight.
I have something here that is going to teach him a lesson.
He's going to punch the daylights out of me.
Tell me, what got you interested in martial arts?
What got me into martial arts? You see, when I realized in the city of Bombay, India, people know us, yeah? So if you know, when they see Rahul Nanda, they say, oh, don't mess with this guy. But if you're in London somewhere else with your family, you need to protect them. And all the time, carrying weapons and stuff. And the only weak point I had was I could fight one-on-one. But if 3-4 guys came across, I would still say, oh, maybe they could not kick my ass here.
Yeah.
So the only thing I needed to do was learn martial arts. And martial arts is not about fighting, it's about, getting more stronger here. Because you have the confidence that in case something happens, you can protect your ass and your family's, life. That's what primarily got me to martial arts.
Now, a lot of people, Rahul, say that just the opposite, that you learn it to attack, you learn it to be able to... but it's not about that, it's about defense.
Defense,
it's
absolutely.
About protection, right?
Absolutely. You'll never see a martial artist who, who's very aggressive, will always go, "Arr!" No. He's always calm, always quiet. He knows he's got the power. People who show off that they have power are people who, are weak inside. A guy who's strong, he's always calm, always happy, always, loving each other.
Tell me about this. It's not just about here. It's not just about here. It's what's inside here, right?
Absolutely.
How do you mentally prepare yourself?
Before a fight or for work?
No, for the mental preparation that you go through. We talked about the physical preparation right before the break, about how if you feel good, if you look good, it enters your mental frame of mind as well.
Right.
With the training that you did for martial arts, did you end up with a mental training that helps you in your work?
Absolutely. You gotta be very strong in your mind, because unless you don't, cultivate your mind and strengthen your mind, you cannot go out and fight. When I got my martial art black belt, I had to fight for 7 hours. I had to fight 15 black belts. And to get in my entire 4 years of training, I think I must have fought more than 300 people. All black belts, we've broken wrists, we've broken jaws. Just look, I broke my wrist. Just look at his shoulders. You cannot enter into a boxing ring or a fighting ring or into work, a business, unless you're not strong here. Today people say, Rahul, Nanda and Tops are one of the biggest, fastest growing concerns in the country. It's because we're strong here. The vision is here. The mind's here. Everything's here. It's not in the body.
No? So if I want to punch you like that.
Punch me here.
That's an invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Punch me here. Try punching.
Okay, so it takes a little more than that.
Yeah.
What is it about this? It's discipline, it's speed, it's concentration.
It's a combination of all.
And all of that. Do you bring that,
majorly speed.
do you bring that into the office as well?
Oh, of course. In the past 10 years, we've been growing at a CAGR, that's compounded annual growth rate, for 50% year on year. We are today the biggest brand in the country in security. We employ 40,000 people. And I employ 40,000 people, and look at me, I'm calm. You see me in parties, you never see me tense, you never see me worried. It's because of systems, it's because of our aggression, our speed, and more importantly, ethics. I think today Tops Group is one of the fastest growing security groups in the country. And an international force in the coming years is because of ethics and the way we run our businesses. Bang on.
How do you find the people? Because 40,000 people, we're looking at guys who you have to employ, you have to train, you have to put that same mental and physical prowess into them as well. How do you do it?
The most important thing, of course, Anish, is proper recruitment. Very, very good training. You got to invest a lot in training. Most of the other companies, they do a mess up with the entire business because they don't train effectively. You got to train very effectively. And more importantly, it's about running your business through systems. So if you look into my business, we've got a manual this big. And everything is mentioned down there, and we follow it to the hilt. That's what makes the difference.
Are you a hands-on manager? Are you there with your team all the time?
All the time. I work 12 hours in a day on average. You have to. You can't sit as the boss at home and say, "Acha, uska kya hua?" You have to be there. Bang on. Today, out of 5,000 customers, I have pride in saying this, that around 3,500 of the customers, the MDs are pals of mine. They know me by first name basis. You see, security is not an everyday requirement. If you have my security in your office or your house, you won't call me every day, "Rahul, ye kya ho gaya, wo kya ho gaya." But the day your butt's on fire, that day you say, "Rahul, I need you now. I've got a police case. I have a problem with the wife. I have a burglary. Aag lagi ghar mein. Bhai ka phone aa gaya." And that day, if I tell you, "Anish, I'm busy partying," I've lost it.
It's a 24-hour job, isn't it?
All the time.
Yeah?
Big risk.
Well,
24-hour job.
I'm going to come back and talk about what you do outside those 24 hours. But let's just talk about...
You know what I do, man.
But let's just talk about that work ethic again. When you started, you weren't 40,000 people, you weren't 5,000
We were 20 employees.
What were those early days like?
When I joined Tops in 1993, I was 22 years of age. I had a salary of $600 a month. I had a second ASD. We had one office in the country, that's in Bombay. And like I said, there was no security industry. So in those days, I didn't have to go out and sell Tops. I had to sell the concept of good security. So if you were there and I came and told you, keep Tops, you said, "What is Tops?" And there was no Tops, So you have to sell tops, you have to sell the security concept. It was a big roller coaster ride. I've seen real bad days, man.
How bad?
Oh, what do you mean how bad? Earning $600 a month is pretty bad. Getting married to a wife with an earning of around 2,000 rupees a month is pretty bad. Not knowing how the next month's going to happen. How do you pay your salaries on time? Because when you have so many employees, you have to pay your salaries by 7th or 10th. So in our business, we don't have credit. So if you don't pay me on time, I have to still pay my creditors on time. I have to still pay my salaries on time. Today, for example, my salary every month is close to around 12.5, 13 crores a month I pay on salaries. So it's a big responsibility I have.
Can I get a job here?
Of course, as a CEO, man.
Well, we're going to come back and talk more with Dr. Diwan, Rahul Nanda, right after this. Stay with us.
We're looking at acquiring companies in America next year. We're going international big way. We could end up moving our corporate headquarters to London or for the matter in America. Maybe you might see me in the London party circuit.
सॉन्चोक के सह प्रायोजक MDH चना मसाला, चने का असली स्वाद MDH चना मसाला।
सांबर मसाला हो या चने का मसाला, कसूरी मेथी या देगी मिर्च, असली मसाले सच सच MDH।
कोना कोना मच्छर गैंग, कोने में छिपना अपना प्लान, निकले हमारे रास्ते जो चूस ले हम उसका चैन।
नया मैक्सो साइक्लोट्रिन कॉइल,
मैक्सो आया पापा,
जिसका लेजर एक्शन कोने कोने तक जाए, मच्छर मार भगाए।
कोने बजाती हमारी
एनकाउंटर स्पेशलिस्ट मैक्सो, मच्छरों से सुरक्षा कोने कोने तक।
पृथ्वी, अग्नि, जल, आकाश, सबकी सुरक्षा हमारे पास। ओरिएंटल इंश्योरेंस।
डाइक्लोरो डाइफिनाइल ट्राइक्लोरोएथेन, जिसका नाम ही इतना भयंकर है, उसका असर कितना भयंकर होगा हम पर।
What is safe for me? What is safer than coke?
बताइए व्हाट इज सेफर देन कोक भाई।
उससे अच्छी चीज तो कोई मिल ही नहीं सकती।
क्या हिंदुस्तान कोक और पेप्सी पी के ही बड़ा हुआ?
बिना विलंब के प्रतिबंध लगाना चाहिए।
2-4 दिन झगड़ा चलेगा, बंद नहीं होगा।
न मैं कोक पीता हूँ, न मैं चाहता हूँ लोग पिए।
मंत्री लोग इससे परहेज कर रहे हैं, लेकिन लोगों को पिला रहे हैं।
आपका हक देखिए हर रविवार सुबह 10 बजे और रात 10 बजे सिर्फ जनमत पर।
आपका हक के सह प्रायोजक MDH असली मसाला, MDH असली मसाले सच सच MDH निरमा वॉशिंग पाउडर, दूध की सफेदी निरमा से आए, रंगीन कपड़ा भी खिल खिल जाए। ऑप्टिमा वॉचेस, पल पल का साथ, और एमटेक डेवलपर्स, इमारत आपके विश्वास की।
मैं कभी क्रांति का आगाज हूं तो कभी शांति का पैगाम। चिंगारी ना समझो मुझको, हूं मैं एक ज्वालामुखी समान। जब तक हूं एक तब तक हूं शान, हो जाऊं अनेक तो ले आऊं तूफान। हूं सब में बसा मैं, फिर भी सब है मुझसे अनजान। अलग अलग है चेहरे मेरे, मगर मेरी है एक ही पहचान। मैं हूं आपका मन, हाँ मैं हूं जनमन।
सॉन्चोक के सह प्रायोजक MDH चना मसाला, चने का असली स्वाद MDH चना मसाला।
Welcome back to Head On Show. I'm Anish Trivedi. If you've just joined us, I'm in conversation with Dr. Diwan Rahul Nanda, Chairman and Managing Director of the TOPS Group. We've been talking about self-defense. We've been talking about security. Let's talk about the other things. Let's talk about what Rahul Nanda does once the sun goes down.
I usually stay at home with my kids.
You're such a liar.
No, I believe in working hard. I believe in partying harder. I believe, and I don't party for partying. I party only for getting to know people, meeting people. And if somebody says, they party for relaxing and chilling, I don't do that for that. I only do it for business. That's all I do. But I have my days, like Friday and Saturdays and Sundays is only for the kids. So even if there is the birthday of, let's say, the biggest star in the country or the biggest politician neta, I won't go for it. I will leave my kids ever alone.
How old are the kids?
I've got 3 girls. Someone asked me, why do you start a security company, recently in an interview. And I said, 3 Lakshmi hai. So itna paisa Bhagwan ne de diya hai, so I had to start a security company for keeping her money,
So Don't
got
give
3
me-
daughters.
Don't give me that. You started a security company so that they won't have any boyfriends.
Bang on, man.
I gotta tell you, girls, you need to worry about it.
No, I don't have to worry. Someone said, do you worry your daughters become 13? I said, why should I worry? The guy who goes after her, the guy's father should worry. Why should I worry?
What do you do with the girls?
I play with them. My eldest girl is 13. Her name is Rashi. The middle one is 10. Her name is Ruhi. And the youngest one is called Rene Nanda. She is 8.5 months of age. She's the newest bundle with joy, and it's a total different experience altogether. After 9-10 years, we're changing nappies, and I get up at 3 in the morning, and feed her, give her milk, and it's crazy. We love it. We love it. I play with them. I teach them martial arts. I play basketball with them, tennis with them. We swim all the time. We do a lot of crazy things all the time.
A lot of Indian CEOs who run a family business are always looking at that element of succession. I am going to have a son who is going to follow me. I'm going to train him in the business. Yes, he'll go to university, he'll do an MBA.
He'll do my hair, he'll take my throne, and he'll do this. In today's world and age, it's all bollocks. It doesn't work that way. My daughter once asked me, Papa, I'm the future chairman of Tops. I said, Beta, only if you're worth it, if you deserve it. I said, and I've got an office, a country headquarters, which is like 7-story high, 35,000 square foot. And the basement is where, you have the offices and the clerks and the assistants. You go high, you got managers, general managers, country heads, CEOs, directors. So I said, till you reach the 7th floor, you start at the basement first. So if you deserve it and you have the intellect and you are committed to this job, then only you can take that so-called throne, if it still remains mine by that time.
But it's something that they've grown up with.
Leadership, business, sure.
And they've seen you. The whole fitness regimen is all something that they're a part of. Is there that natural interest that they have, or are they saying, Dad, I want to be a ballet dancer, I want to do Kathak, or I want to be an artist?
My middle girl, Ruhi, went to Anupam Kher's show, and Anupam Kher asked her, very, very calmly, nonchalantly, Beta, what do you want to be when you become big? And he thought, she'll say astronaut, and her doctor. She said, I want to be a businesswoman. So we have, imbibed into them that when they become big, they have to handle the business because this is a family-owned business. Now we have other stakeholders in the company as well now. You got Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who's picked up 16% stake. Very recently, somebody else has picked up 5% stake. We're looking at coming in the public issue. So we are growing in a very big way. We're looking at becoming 4,000 crores in the next 10 years. Also growing in a big way. But they have to know that the father cannot remain the chairman MD if I don't perform. So every day in, day out, you got to perform and keep on beating your own established benchmarks. That's what they've learned. And I think they're on a very good footing because they know you got to be healthy. My girls play sports. They do martial arts. They want to be leaders in the school. It's pretty nice.
What about your wife?
My wife is a very simple woman from Punjab. Been with me for the past 14 years of marriage, 3 years of engagement. 17 years she's borne me or she's bearing me. I think she's hats off. If I'm calm, I'm stable, it's because of her. Every friend of mine, like we talk about Vinita, and same brother as you, they talk about, by the way, her real name is Ranita. There's Vinita, Ranita. Her nickname is Winnie. And they love Winnie more than me.
Does she ever worry, given the kind of business that you're in? There is always, you run a security company, but there is always a threat.
Talking on threats, sure enough, talking on threats. If you do observe these so-called builders or these businessmen who get threats in our business, when they get business threats, people who do wrong things, who grab land, who do hera-feri, they are the only ones who get threats, generally. Simple guys like you and me would never get threats. If you're clean, your business is ethical, you don't grab lands, you don't do any bhaigiri, you don't give dhamkis on phone, you don't do all the hera-feri, why should someone bother with you? There are bigger fishes in the sea. Right? So she knows that we don't do these things. I don't get threats, so because I don't get threats. You remain clean, do your business well. And if tomorrow somebody has a problem with the bhai or something, the first thing I say is go to the police. They're the biggest bhais. So once you go to the police, they'll sort things out for you.
That's good advice. What else would you say to businessmen in this country? You're running a business that's not just the guard at the door. There's more to it in there. You've seen what can go wrong in a company, what can go wrong in a business, intellectual theft to physical theft. What's the advice that you give your clients?
We keep on counseling our clients all the time. The clients we talk about are not Marwadi, Banias and partnership companies. We work with all the MNCs. We work with the embassies. We work with your Levers, your Glaxo, your Siemens, your L&Ts, your Tatas, your Birlas, your name it, Hutch, all the big companies work with us. So it's not that we have to, give them advice. Yes, we form a same team. We consult with them. We offer expertise on areas that which they are weak in. So it could be guarding, could be investigations, could be corporate due diligence, could be intellectual property information, could be brand protection, could be how to make sure that people, your VIPs, your directors, are evacuated on time. It's the whole shebang, It's the whole shebang which we offer them.
So let me ask you this. Large companies know this, particularly if you're a multinational, if you're an embassy. This is ingrained into you the minute you come into that job. What about the smaller companies? Who is taking that message out to that small businessman to say, you are also under threat?
If it's a small company, one day it's going to become a big company. Sure, yeah? And generally, threats are not from external environments, threats from internal environments. Very, very rarely you have threats from competition. You have very rarely have threats from, the underworld people. You generally have threats from your internal employees. You generally have threats from your internal systems, your internal failures, your internal your loopholes. So that's what we keep, help them plug. So on in a typical case scenario, if we secure, let's say, a factory of, let's say, Trivedi engineering, for example, yeah, we would come and do a full security survey, a full security audit, sit with you, tell you where you're wrong, and only if you listen to what we advise you, we'll go ahead with the business. That's what Tops has reached a position where we choose, who we want to work with. We get over 1,000 inquiries a month, but we work with around 100, 200 customers. It's eventually our brand, it's our ash and line, man. Tomorrow something goes wrong, there's a theft, there's a firing, or there is a fire or some sort of, anything goes wrong there. They will say, top security, you're responsible. So you've got to be very careful with these things.
Rahul, let me ask you this, what's next? I know I will see you on the rugby field at some point. I know I will see you at a party somewhere at some point. But for Diwan, Rahul, Nanda, what's next?
I have a big vision. Our group's vision is to be, like I said, 4,500 crores in the next 10 years. 4,500 crores is $1 billion US. That's a big dream. The biggest security group in the country, in the world today, is doing a business of around $5 billion US. And if that guy can do it, I can do it better. What next? We're looking at acquiring a company in the UK this year. We're looking at acquiring companies in America next year. We're going international big way. We could end up moving our corporate headquarters to London, or for the matter in America. So maybe you might see me in the London party circuit in the coming 2-3 years, definitely. Our base would remain India. But London, UK, America, Australia, Singapore, UAE, here we come. We're going to be there.
So there's not a hope in hell that you're going to slow down?
Never. We can't slow down. That's become like how your perception is, your brand. Anish Trivedi, hi. My perception, my brand is Rahul is fast, aggressive, on the ball all the time. Always focused.
Let's see how fast he is.
You were too slow.
Oh, thank you very much for joining me on Head On. It's been a pleasure having you
here.
Thanks,
bro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's it from me, Anish Trivedi. We'll be back with more On Head Honcho right here on Janmat next week. Until then, goodbye.